Let's do some texturing today. As a beginner, I've got two different options here. I've got the spray on, and then I've got the joint compound. Which one is going to be easier for a beginner like myself? So we took this mirror off the wall behind me. We've got a knockdown texture that we want to recreate. When the mirror came off, of course, it ripped off some of the drywall. Then when I was doing some stuff, I accidentally drilled a hole in a pipe up here, so we had to patch that up. And then if you want to know how to do either of those things, fix the hole in a PVC pipe that you accidentally drilled, or remove the mirror, I'll link to those videos as well. But let's go ahead and see which one of these is going to be easier to use as a beginner. Let's jump into it. Okay, so first I'm going to use this spray on knockdown texture. It's got two, you've got the heavy and the light. All you have to do is twist this right here to pick which one you want. First we're going to remove the tab. Now, this is my first try at it here. Essentially, I am just going to spray it where I need it. Then I am going to knock it down here, dragging this across it. So let's go ahead and try and see how good this actually works out for me. Shaking it well here. Now it says wait 4 to 8 minutes to let it dry, then you knock it down. So it's been about 5 minutes, now it's time to knock it down. Here I have actually a paint shield. They recommend using a knife. However, it's the same concept, a flat piece of metal. This is 12 inches here, so now it's just time to knock it down. Simply press and drag. So there we go, and that is it. That is knockdown using the spray on texture. Perfect. Now let's give the joint compound a try here. Basically, just going to take some here, scoop it, plop it onto a paper plate here, and then apply it to the wall and see how this compares to the spray on. Okay, so I've got two spots here. Let's start with this one here. It's been filled, this is dry, and now for my joint compound, I'm mixing it up here. It's pretty it's not super runny, but it slops off of this knife if I fling it, and I think that is about the consistency that I want it. So again, it comes off of the knife there with a good hearty flick. So I just get some on the back of the knife here, best I can, and I'm sure that all of the experts out there are cringing as I am using my rudimentary tools as I fumble through this. So let's give this a whirl here. Joint compound on the back of the knife there, and let's do my best here. Okay, that's one swoosh there. We've got another spot over here that I am going to try the other way. I'm using very light pressure, just barely enough so that the mud touches the wall and kind of sticks on its own. I try to get around it a little bit to help blend it in. So I'm going to practice in the middle of the wall here a little bit, just kind of blending it in as I go. So if I come scrape a little on the knife here, best I can there. And then I'm not afraid here to get it on the wall, because then I can just kind of scrape it right off. It's not terrible. Okay, so I want to just apply a little bit of pressure and let it come off the knife in its own. There we go. And then nice. Give that a minute, then we'll knock it down. Perfect. So it's been a few minutes here. Now I am going to knock down the joint compound here. So again, got my blade here, just a light drag of the knife here. And then the big spot here. Perfect. So that is that. I have used both now, the joint compound and the spray. So there we go. The spray on was a lot easier. Sprayed in a circular motion, wait a couple minutes, knock it down. The wall compound, a lot more technical. I would have been better served if I wasn't using a paper plate, actually getting the equipment that is needed to be used. Basically, they sell these square buckets that you need to put it in, and then they have knives with actual handles on them. The tool that I was using is actually a paint cover, so you put that in a corner and then you paint along it, and it's just to protect you on your edges when you're painting. However, just putting it together and using it for my first time, I did do a decent job if I compare it to other areas around the bathroom. It looks comparable, so it's not going to look professional. I know I didn't do as good a job as some of the experts out there. However, for a beginner, for my first time, I'm actually very happy with how it turned out. It looks 100 times better than just leaving the patches there, and I have seen that in homes. So finishing it like this, it's actually going to look a lot more professional once we put the paint on it. I'll know it's there. However, compared to other spots on the wall, it is really going to blend in. So there you go. That is kind of the putty, or excuse me, the joint compound versus the spray. So they both have their pros and cons. If you're just doing a small spot, the spray is better. If you're going to be doing more, the joint compound is going to serve you the best. I am going to actually go practice with this. I'm going to go find some spots, maybe some extra drywall that I have in the garage, and just practice with this, because that's what is going to improve my skills over time. Just got to put it to work, just got to practice. So again, my name is Drew. If you want to see what else we've got going on in this bathroom, check out some of the other videos of what I'm doing. If you like DIY around the house stuff, I'll see you in the next one.